All right. So recording, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. I hope you're nice and safe. That's my background. That's where I live in a beautiful country called Australia, and I live in the Blue Mountains, which is a heritage area. My name is Maria Hopwood-Jones, and I'm an ASEA Diamond here in Sydney, Australia. Today's webinar will be in two sections. Time, I'm afraid, is not going to be well, it'll be good, but we might not be able to get all your questions answered. So if you have any questions, please reach out to the person who invited you along to this webinar. So to bring our very first speaker, I would like to introduce Stevie Aquilina. Now, Stevie has been an amazing man who just reached 40 years on this wonderful planet. So happy birthday, Stevie. He has a wealth of experience he accumulated since his very tender age, as he was very independent from the age of 15. He now lives in Queensland with his beautiful wife, Sarah Aquilina, and his 4 terrific boys. About 6 years ago, they made the best decisions that we all have here, and we started, and he has as well, started the ASEA business. Stevie and Sarah are now high-profile leaders. Stevie does a wonderful presentation. It's very clear and concise, and his whole mission is to better people's life and be a force for good in the world. Stevie, darling, welcome to the webinar.
Hey, thank you very much. Glad to be. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Tracy. Glad to be here with you, and thank you very much, Maria Hopwood-Jones. It's just awesome to be able to work with you. Such a tremendous leader and tremendous friend, and great ball of energy and light, and you just bring so much joy and happiness to this journey that we're on together, and what you do for not just your team but for anyone that comes your way is phenomenal. And that's why you've got such a great business, regionally, nationally and internationally, and so you're such an inspiration to work with. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you, and you're one of my favorite birthday messages for that surprise video I got. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate you. Folks, all right, let's jump into the presentation here and get moving along. So let me just share my screen here. Awesome. As Maria said, my name is Stevie Aquilina, and in case you couldn't tell by my Crocodile Dundee accent or Maria's introduction, right? My family and I, we live in Australia. And we're originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast. And that was really a dream come true, and we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We love it. We very, very much love it. And I'm very blessed and grateful for my life and the income and time and freedom that I have, which allows me to enjoy a really great lifestyle with my family. It's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time, just way too far out of our reach, to be honest. Once upon a time, because these good vibes and good times have not always been the case. I was a very difficult, weird and awkward child to parent and school and raise, and I never made the grades in school. I was often told I was stupid and useless, and I figured out along the way, when you're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so later on, I became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout, and with that kind of thinking, I just walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s, to be honest with you. And I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good-looking bouncer. And what I laugh about the good-looking part, right? It's a joke. I used to work in the most popular nightclubs in Sydney as a bouncer, King's Cross, which is used to be a very notorious part of Sydney's nightlife. I had big dreams. I was a daydreamer, but I wasn't a daydream believer. I wanted to be, do, and have more. I really wanted to give more, actually, but I had little self-esteem, little self-confidence, so I done little with my life and had little to give. Now, physically, even to right now, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. You wouldn't have known it back then, but I had health troubles. I had autoimmune disorder, I had inflammatory issues, I had severe skin, respiratory and gut conditions most of my life, and lots of bad injuries too. Financially, I got myself stuck, very stuck, in go-nowhere jobs, with hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. I've been embarrassingly broke, so behind that I've had the phone, electricity and gas cut off. I've not been able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol, if I could even afford that. I've not been able to make the rent. I've been evicted. No financial dignity. Now, I always believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And so with that kind of contradiction, it led to confusion, and feelings of unfulfillment and unhappiness and frustration and being trapped, unable to be who I wanted to be. Now, here are some fortunate things that have happened in my life. First, I met the girl of my dreams, and right then and there, on the spot, more than ever before, I was motivated to become more. Now, she believed in me, even though I didn't, and always told me that I was more. And I figured out once again, thankfully enough, that when you're told something often enough, right, kind of start to believe it. And so I was also introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, opportunity and training. Now, the company leaders are extremely successful people, and they believed in me too. But more importantly, they taught me how to believe and become more. And so now fast forward to right now today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I've solved them. And I get the privilege of helping others to solve them too, because of this life-changing breakthrough. Instead of financial insecurity and indignity and being embarrassingly broke, I now have security and dignity because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, and frustrated and all that, I now have the ability to believe and become more and give more, because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. So I really want to now spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than, at the very least, bettering people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So what I'm going to share with you first is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. This is the life-changing breakthrough that I mentioned before. Medical experts say this is a very big breakthrough that is greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. Great breakthroughs they were. What we're going to show you goes even deeper than that. Now, for 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. And so it's kind of a miracle that you're finding out about this. However, this is a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies. This is a very advanced breakthrough, by the way, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals, challenges, problems, concerns you can think of, whatever it might be, just about remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it all shut down, by the way, but more about that a little later on. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely crystal clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you have ever seen before. Nothing like anything you're seeing on the screen right now. What we'll be talking about instead of all this stuff you see, what we have goes well beyond drugs or nutrition. And I mean well beyond any type of ingredients or technology that you might already know about. Because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking, category creating, and a real deal healthcare breakthrough. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. Now, aside from being a mouthful, what are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they are made within your body. They're in you right now. And so they're native to your body. And redox signaling molecules are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, and then therefore your cell-to-cell operation. And therefore every single system and function of your body, and I mean all the way down to your genetic expressions, in a very positive way. Now, redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. And this happens by redox signaling molecules sending signals and telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, how to repair unhealthy cells, and how to replace damaged cells. Now, redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Look, the bottom line is this: redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this also important? Because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. So redox signaling molecules allow our cells to work properly, and healthy cells means a healthy body and a healthy life. Now, redox signaling molecules are the keys to life. They are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical, physiological processes, all of it critically depends on redox signaling, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, if they're already in your body, then why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy and how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next day, ready to do it all over again, right? And how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, man-made but also natural, from all of this stress, our cells break down. And our cells' ability to make redox signaling molecules declines daily. And without as many of these redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and functioning and healing process becomes slow. And then our cells break down more and more. And what breaks down more and more is our production of these redox signaling molecules. And it's this vicious cycle that leads to a breakdown ultimately in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science very seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products and certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a redox signaling molecule, there have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published at the National Library of Medicine, and if you typed in redox signaling there, you would see well over 33,000 results, along with more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. Now, this slide will already be out of date with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. According to medical researchers, as well as reported in the Huffington Post, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. Now, there are multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. Now, as for ASEA outside of all of this redox biochemistry world, we're already light years ahead of everything, because ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates, by the way, as we've just discussed, to health at its most foundational level. And here's just one example of that. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of your genetic pathways and affect your genes that improve immune system health, that help you maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular, your heart health, and support your arterial elasticity, that improves your gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulates your hormone balances to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual, and they play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Now, moreover, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies from this show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, the head professor of this university study has come forward saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress, ASEA's ability to do that. Now, that's significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. Now, also, from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. We're talking 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and or healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But look, you don't need to take my word for it because we're going to listen to some medical doctors right now and what they have to say. So watch this.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28, our Redox gel, and our intensive Redox serum. Now these Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by the complementary all-natural ingredients products. They are a gentle refining cleanser and an ultra replenishing moisturizer. But look, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let's just show you what our ASEA Redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging and age reversing results. Let's show you the pictures. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, and marks. Irritations, inflammations, aggravations, as you can see behind the ear here. And other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. Now, for young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions, coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left here could not be seen by Rosie because Rosie did not take those pictures, and Rosie actually believed that the products were not working. Now, Rosie went along to see her doctor. That, by the way, is who told Rosie about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products didn't work, the doctor showed these pictures to Rosie, and well, I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes. But Rosie missed the moment changes by not taking pictures, and you will probably miss them too, so please take pictures. That's how you see how ASEA goes. And for anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Now, how long will it take until you notice a change? Well, many people notice results in a reasonable amount of time, like 7 weeks, as in Rosie's example here. Others within 7 days. A lot of people can actually have a feeling, an experience in around about 7 or so minutes. But the truth is some people need to apply more product, time, and patience generally when there's more going on with their health. Now, what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same. They're the same in you, in me, in animals, in plants. Studies show that ASEA redox products are just nothing but stabilized, perfectly balanced, native to your body redox signaling molecules. And studies also show that our ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of noticing the change, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference there? Now, Renew 28 is not just for your face. As you can see here, a person's arm, hand, belly. On this next picture, you'll see more bellies. And on this next picture, you'll see some bums. Now, these pictures actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. And this study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Renew 28. And so scientists set upon some very strict studies, double-blind placebo-controlled studies, clinical trials, to see if there was any truth to these stories. And what they found was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite. This was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, enhancing the smoothing of the skin, not just a visibly younger looking skin, but actually enhancing and creating healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving or sun exposure, but Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It goes much deeper than that, and it can help soothe discomfort around your body, and you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most discomfort, you know, it hurts you the most. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times within 5 minutes, and usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of their discomfort within approximately 10 minutes, right? Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. But now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out and shown you what it looks like from the outside in, and by the way, seeing what it can do from the outside, could you imagine what these magical molecules would be doing on the inside? And probably to give you a really good insight into that would be for you to be able to hear somebody's experience. And one of the greatest stories in the world comes from one of the greatest leaders in the world and one of the greatest men, my best mate. I'm going to hand back to Maria though, so he can have a proper introduction. Thanks, Maria.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Stevie. That was a really good presentation. Thanks so much. Now, our next speaker is a very dear friend of ours, and he's been known to do whatever it takes to make things go and happen. And he will help you win, because he's helped Stevie, me, and many people around the world, not only to win, but also to get our health back in check. Now, to get this, Suzanne and Daniel now, Dan, travels the world. They're world travelers, seasoned world travelers, and they do that because they want to share the gift of ASEA to everybody. Dan has achieved the rank of number 3 in ASEA as an ambassador triple diamond and is a member of the $1 million club. Dan has got a wealth of experience as well as Stevie, but all over the world, and is a global authority in Redox signaling molecules. However, you know, life wasn't always this way. I've got a little saying that I just love, like life will throw you lemons. That you can do one thing, you can collect them all and make lemonade, or stand there and take the knocks. So he decided to make lemonade. And that was a long time ago. He's actually decided to turn that weakness and that challenge into a success. Daniel comes with an amazing experience, and we're all really, really excited to hear it. So Dan Doyle, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We know that you've been traveling a lot all over the world, and you just got home not long ago, but we truly appreciate your time.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you to you and Stevie for having the trust, the belief, and the faith in me and the company initially to you know, come into the ASEA family. Thank you for your leadership and everything you've done globally. A lot of people have heard my story and they're going to hear it again. They've heard Stevie's story, but a lot of people have told me on this call, Maria, they would love to hear your story. Do you mind before I go through mine? Because you've got an incredible story. It's been an amazing journey for you from the day we met in that coffee shop many, many years ago. And if you don't mind, people would love to hear your story as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan, for the opportunity. I'll be as brief as possible. Anybody wants to know the little details can give me a call or catch up with me on Facebook. So 2015, and Lee and I, my husband and I, decided to retire. We did all sorts of crazy things as people that, you know, can do when you retire. Got bored. We decided to look for to do something fun. We decided to travel. So as we were planning the traveling, Lee unfortunately had a bit of a condition on his arm, just a little tiny little spot they used to treat with particular ointments that he could get from his health practitioner. But this particular day, he woke up with that particular issue all over the body. It was very itchy. His belly became quite large and hard. And of course, you know, you think the worst. So I went one way to look exactly and tried to research what was going on with him. And Lee went to his health practitioner. And he came back with a whole lot of tests and things that he had to do. And, you know, and I did the research. And look, 8 to 10 weeks we spent on this. So the short story is we spent a lot of money, travel all over the place. We found no solution from the medical model, no solutions from the natural health model either, or anything else that I tried. It just didn't work. Somebody that we've known for a little while, I said, look, you know, this stuff is out there. Why don't you give this a go? So we contacted the practitioner that was working with this particular product, and she said, look, he needs to take this. But she didn't know a lot either because it was very new to her practice. So she gave me and put me in contact with Dan Doyle, and that's how I met Dan in August 2015. By then, I was very stressed. We hadn't slept a lot. His skin was getting worse by the minute. The ointment that he was putting on was actually almost feeding a monster because he will put it on, will calm down and come back bigger and nastier. So it was a little bit stressful at home. We changed everything. We've cleaned up the diet. We changed all the clothes, the undergarments, linen, everything. You name it, we did it. Still couldn't find a solution. So I met Dan, and Dan very quickly said, look, what's the story? Told him the story with more details. And he said he's got to have half a bottle of this. And he pushed this bottle in front of me, this blue bottle. Well, it wasn't blue then, it was a little different color. And he said he's got to put half of, this goo, he called it the gel, on his body 3 times a day. And I broke into tears. So for those of you who don't know, I'm South American, so I got a bit of a chilly temper. So I went, blah. And he said, look, I'll get you a cup of coffee and tell you the story. Because my question to Dan was, I've spent all this money. We've been very stressed. Nobody's been able to give me any answers. Why do you have an answer? Who are you? Are you a doctor? Are you a health practitioner? Are you a scientist? Who are you? He said, no. He said, I'm a survivor. That's all I am, just a survivor. And Dan started telling me the story. So I said to Dan, okay, if this works as good as it has for you, where do I get more? He said, well, you can't. You had to come and see me. And I said, okay, whatever. I was so desperate. All I want to do is pick up the stuff and take it home. I just want to be on it. So I said, as I turned around to go, I said, if this works really good, I want to know what you're doing, because people need to know about this if it works that well. We can't keep it a secret. So he said, you'll be back. Not because it's anyway, some very cheeky way. He said, you'll be back. So I took the product home and I said to Lee, take this product now, half a bottle a day, and put this gel 3 times a day. We start now. So it's the afternoon of a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. From Saturday night to Sunday morning, he slept for the first time in about 10 weeks. In fact, I kept on poking him to make sure he was still there because he was so quiet. But when he got up the following morning in all his glory, he had nothing on his skin. He didn't have a big distended stomach. It was flat. He's very fit. And I ran down and I said, oh my goodness, what is this? And that was the beginning of my story. And I said to Dan, I'm committed to you. I'm committed to the company. I don't care what I've got to do. I don't care how long it takes me. People need to know about this. We need to get it out there. So that was in 2015, August. So there you go, Dan. Thank you so much for actually coming into my life and telling me all about this. It's just amazing.
No, thank you, Maria. My pleasure. I mean, this is what we do. An incredible situation, I think, for you guys on the call. And thank you so much for coming on today. You know, hopefully you're getting to understand the enormity of this breakthrough and what we've got our hands on. Don't underestimate what this is and what it can do for anybody in any condition. You see, anybody that has a symptom that comes to the surface, those symptoms have taken a very, very long time, 5 to 20 years. It doesn't happen overnight. And the reason why it has come to the surface is somebody's own production of redox signaling molecules didn't detect the problem in the first place. And by the time it comes to the surface, which, as I said, takes a long time, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, unfortunately, their own production of redox signaling molecules can't get on top of the damage. They can't get their health back because there's too much going on by that stage. I'm going to go through my story, but before I do, I just want to say, if you're seeing this for the first time, if someone's invited you to this call, this is a gift. This is a gift that somebody's handed you. I would say one of the most precious gifts that you will ever receive in your whole life. And we're not here to sell you on anything or convince you of anything. We're literally here to share information in our stories. And, you know, whatever you want to do with that gift is totally up to you, whether you open it or not, totally up to you. Hopefully, we're going to inform you to be able to make a decision whether you want to do something, as I said, with it or not. Before I go into my story, just want to reiterate what Stevie said with a company disclaimer, that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we have some incredible products and technology that with these amazing little molecules can empower and help the body, signal the body to heal itself. Story goes back to Sydney, Australia. I played many sports, very successful in traditional business over 2 decades. This is one of my sports when I was involved in the health and fitness industry back in the early 90s. And here I was a product of the product, many businesses in the health and fitness industry. I was a personal trainer. The reason I'm showing you this, after dropping out of school and my parents spending a lot of money to make sure that I had the right education to, I suppose, get into a better position that they were in with the opportunities that they had in life. They just wanted the best for us kids as possible, which I didn't appreciate, I suppose. I ended up dropping out of school and getting a job, but I moved into traditional business. I was in the health and fitness industry for many years, had multiple businesses in that industry, personal trainer. It was my life. Not realizing at that time I was going to become quite a successful entrepreneur, building a lot of businesses from inception. Over the next 20 years from this period of time, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, employing around 3,500 people. It was an incredible journey, an incredible learning curve. I say to people, you know, my successes was my fault and my failures were my fault. And thank goodness there are a lot more successes than failures. did really well, extremely well. But let's fast forward from the age 24 to 44. And this is a picture of me at 44. Not a bodybuilder anymore, but still keeping fit and healthy. So you saw 24, 44, and I'm actually 54 this year in a very similar condition to what I am in this photo. Always kept fit and healthy. Unfortunately, I didn't realize at this point in my life, as much as I felt great and looked great, I didn't know I was actually very, very sick. There was something that was going to come to the surface 6 months later. That was a huge shock. And in 2011, this is a picture of me on the right-hand side, where the doctors told me I didn't have one, but I had 2 major health challenges. And it was the start of a journey which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You can see I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. This is a picture of a friend of mine standing next to me, Johnny Manor. Johnny played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through all the hospital visits that I'd started here. And fortunately for Johnny at that time, you know, he was in remission, went back to playing the highest levels of rugby. But unfortunately for Johnny, his issue came back after this photo was taken. He went back into hospital. He lost a lot of weight. He lost all his hair, and he never came out of that hospital. We lost him at the age of 23 years young. At the end of my 2.5 years of what the doctors put me through, I hit my doctors between the eyes and I said, what's going to happen now? And they told me literally to get my affairs in order. Big shock. I knew at that time I had to make a decision, and I took the responsibility of my health back into my own hands and did some research. Research led to an alkaline diet. And I was in the battle for my life. There was a lot of switches that I flicked. I had to flick the switch on only depending on doctors and depending on traditional conventional medicine to something I didn't believe in, which was alternative and functional medicine. And something else that I did at that time was I had to flick the switch on, not believing in network marketing products, to knowing that there were good products out there, which I did purchase and did everything to help empower my body at that time. So spending a lot of money religiously on these network marketing products, being on an alkaline diet, this was the result after me looking after myself for 2 years. So bloodworks was still heading in the wrong direction, still in a lot of trouble with my health. A friend of mine reached out and said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, flew from Sydney, Australia to Salt Lake City, Utah, started on ASEA. 3 hours, my body was detoxing so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem, a caffeine intolerance had gone away. And in 48 to 72 hours, all the lung damage from what they did to me at that hospital with the targeted things they were doing, where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect. Went back to Australia, kept drinking these amazing little molecules. Let's fast forward 12 months. This is a picture of me the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. 1 year on the product. 2015, my whole life had changed in regards to my health. Multiple injuries from playing sports that were turning into that problem as people get older had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in 2015. Let's fast forward another 2 years. This is 3 years drinking these amazing little molecules. Let's go back to 2014. No health, absolutely zero health, everything heading in the wrong direction. So what you're seeing on the outside, I mean, you can tell if somebody's well or if somebody's not well by the way they look, because the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. In 2015, 1 year on the product, looking a lot better, definitely feeling a lot better, same thing. What you're seeing on the outside, a reflection, what's going on the inside. 2017, 3 years on the product, my complexion, a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. And hopefully you can see right now with 6 years on the product that things hopefully are still heading in the right direction. I can tell you I'm feeling absolutely fantastic, fitter than ever. It's been an incredible, amazing evolution transition from no health 6 years ago, where when we lost our health, we were living in a van, almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps, coming from being very successful in life to having nothing in life physically and financially when I lost my health. Things sort of moved into becoming a responsibility to help other people. It was that responsibility and that purpose-filled mission to help others that really saved my life. If there wasn't a business model behind this incredible breakthrough, I wouldn't have had the ability to receive thank you checks, to invest in those thank you checks into more product, to saturate my body, to tell my body where the problem was. So there's a lot of things that changed over a short period of time. The only regret that I have, because as Stevie said, this technology, this breakthrough, these molecules, what we have in this bottle isn't on trial. Scientifically impossible not to work for any living thing on the planet. My biggest regret was not sharing this with anybody from day one. I waited 5 months. So as things evolved and I started sharing this with people, from what I know now, how big this breakthrough is, the company, the leadership, the compensation plan, their ethos, we will never come across a bigger opportunity than what we have in our hands. And I put up one of my sayings on Facebook, and that was, you know, sometimes we don't realize what we have in our hands until we open our minds. And it's definitely true in this situation, because I know a lot of people miss, unfortunately, what we have. And I know that their lives, that their health, that potentially what they can achieve financially is definitely well and truly affected by an opportunity that they could have taken that they didn't, because they didn't even look into what we have. So thank you everybody for being on the call and for having an open mind enough to look at what we have. And with that, we're going to go into the next part of ASEA, and that is the opportunity at hand. And I'll hand back to Maria to bring Stevie back in just to go through that with you guys and talk about the incredible opportunity behind ASEA.
Absolutely. You know, thanks, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell my story, but also just to hear yours all the time. It's just fabulous, you know. So, yeah, my heart is full of gratitude to actually realize that you took your health into your own hands, and here we are. So to continue on and see what actually this means for you and your family, not just on a health level, but also financially, particularly now. We are in the perfect storm right now, and it's a perfect time to look at something that can totally revolutionize your life, your health, your financial life. So take it away, Stevie.
Hey, thank you very much, Maria. Appreciate you and your story and your leadership and your inspiration as always. And yours too, Dan. Thank you. Special shout out to you, Dan, because Dan is actually the first leader here to believe in me long before I could believe in myself, and take me in and coach me and train me and mentor me and inspire me and put up with me. He's my best mate and yeah, the best friend I've ever had. So thank you very much, Dan. Really glad that I have you, and the whole world's glad that they still have you around. All right, folks, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. I mean, that's a historical fact and a universal truth, isn't it? And the bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. And that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this, to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, again, as for our redox technologies, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplements for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one else other than just one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist. No one but this gentleman has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. But that doesn't just mean that ASEA is not allowed to be copied. I mean, it's not allowed to be copied, but more than that, ASEA really can't be copied, because there's no way to be able to look into a bottle of ASEA and be able to figure out how to reverse engineer it, because the secrets aren't in the bottle. There are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so it really can't be copied. And that means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. That means no one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And that really means that no other products in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them, literally, because nothing else in the world, no products out there are redox signaling molecules. And therefore, nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can, because ASEA is redox signaling molecules. And because redox works in everybody, and because everybody needs redox, and because nothing in the world, in the body, I should say, works as well, or at all, in fact, without redox, right? And because redox can't hurt anybody. And by the way, again, no other products can make these claims. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, whatever it might be, it's not redox signaling molecules, and therefore it just can't work as well. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities, therefore, across all health science sectors: healthcare wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries, by the way. And ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox signaling supplement from. And so this really is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, here's some more reasons why that is true. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. And what we do is not complicated. We personally share ASEA with customers, and we get paid every time they buy. Every time, not just the first time, even if it's the same person buying again and again and again. Now, we also grow and expand a global network of other people who also want to share redox and have a difference in bettering people's lives, and get paid for making a difference. Now, also, this makes you your own boss. You can be your own boss. You can be in business for yourself. But let me tell you, you are not in business by yourself, because together we're better, and together we work to improve the productivity of your networks that we will build regionally, nationally, and internationally, globally, around the world. And so this is kind of like a franchise business model, right? But instead of building restaurants and burgers like, let's say, McDonald's do, instead of building buildings, here at ASEA, we're building people. And we don't even need to make, as in regards to the products, we don't even need to make, ship, or handle the products. The company does all of that for you. And so in this way, you can make an income like a franchise. In fact, I'll show you some numbers. You make way more than that, but without all of the expense, stress, or risk. And so ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing redox with others, for people looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, big-time, or even legacy-leaving income. For people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commission to meet whatever your level of ambition is, to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. So you receive a residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by every single person you refer to ASEA. And because you can refer as many people as you like, and because those people can purchase as much product as they like, and because they purchase it again and again and again and again, and you're paid for all of those purchases, that makes your residual income potential unlimited. Now, on top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person, your contacts, so not even you, your contacts and others also refer. And there's no limits to this. There's no limits to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go. You're attached to all of it. So just like when we recommend a good movie, TV series, cafe, restaurant, book, whatever it might be, we recommend things all the time and don't get paid for it. Here you get paid for it. And people tell people, who then tell even more people. And it goes on and on. Word of mouth is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful, most effective, most trusted, and most listened to form of marketing in the world. And there's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries, opening new markets almost every single year. We've been in business we're in our 11th year now, and we have been profitable with no debt since year 1. We've never been in debt, and we've always been profitable. We've never taken a backward step. We've always increased in profitability. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. Now, residual income is impressive, but more so it's important because you have residual bills. So why not have residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Well, out of every 100 people, only one of them is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive. Now, remember, this is at 65, and they're not working because they want to. They're working because they have to. They are a slave to the dollar. But worse still, 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. Now, when I first learned about this, I immediately asked, what is going wrong and what do I need to do right? How do I get off this failing financial plan? What is one of the main financial principles that the top 4% seem to have figured out, that the rest of us 81% didn't figure out, that I needed to figure out for mine and my family's safety and security? And it was this is what I figured out. How to make money that is no longer dependent on your paid by the hour, selling your precious time, labor intensive, own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Look, active income, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. And therefore, you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. I found this very concerning when I was at that moment thinking, well, my active income already isn't enough as it is. Now, this is one of the biggest problems 81% of people get trapped in. And let me tell you, money is an excellent servant. You can do a lot of good things with money, but it is a terrible master. You want to control it, not have it control you. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you die, until you take the long sleep. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a good place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, by the way, keep it. You're blessed. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that's not going to interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is just not smart, folks, and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize the right thing, who decide to take control of their finances and their freedom and their security, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, for people who have dreams and want a better life, a SEER is a significant opportunity being handed to you right now for you to be paid a significant residual income from making a significant difference in people's lives. And let me tell you, the global expansion here by a SEER is inevitable. Jump on board because it's going to go with or without you. Better to go with you, right? And it can afford making your dreams a reality and give you that real freedom. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with a SEER. And it's who we become, really, and what we do, even more importantly, that is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. You can have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is, the effect we have on others. And that's the heart of a SEER. And here's a demonstration of that, because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving a SEER was the real deal, those big drug companies offered a SEER huge sums of money to buy a SEER off them for the sole and exclusive rights to the SEER Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted a SEER to shut down, and they wanted to take everyone off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of a SEER, Virtus and his son Tyler Norton, had the great foresight, these gentlemen had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in taking such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler got to see people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, to then these people experiencing life-changing power from using Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so Virtus and Tyler felt in good conscience that they couldn't sell out. And so that's exactly why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Now, for Virtus and Tyler, what once in truth had just started out as just a very big business play had now become more. The SEER founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement, the health route, rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. And one of the SEER's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds. I'm talking up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced in running very big, global, and very profitable businesses. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first and helping others to believe, belong, and become more, and to be a force for good in the world. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers easily. There's plenty of university studies. But most importantly, hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see. ASEA is the real deal. So if you want to be happier and healthier, if you want to live younger, longer, stronger, if you may just want to become an ASEA customer. But if you have more in your heart, more dreams, more desires, you want to be, do, have, and able to give more. If you want to help people be happier and healthier. If you want more income, time, lifestyle, freedom. If you want to increase the prosperity of the planet. If you want to make a difference in the world, you can become part of this redox reality, and you can become more. And if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life as a byproduct of that will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. Thank you, Maria Hopwood-Jones, and thank you very much, so very much, Dan Doyle. Love you guys.
Thanks, Stevie. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was just really exciting and very informative. Now, we don't have time for questions. I just want to say thanks, Dan, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today. I know it's in the evening, probably over where you are right now. So time for din-din. I appreciate your time. And so as a friend, as a mentor, thank you so much, because if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't be where we are. None of us would, and our health would not be where it is right now. And the potential for it to get even better, it's amazing, as well as our financial situation. So thank you so very much. Ever so grateful forever. Stevie, my beautiful 40-year-old brother, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You are just amazing. I love it. And that, look, it's one of those Saturdays here in Australia, and I know it's Friday night somewhere else in the world. Just take a thought, just think about it. And what I want to leave you with is are the decisions you're making every day, don't have to be big, little ones, medium size, are the decisions you're making moving you towards to where you want to be, wherever that is. And for those who are new, I'd really like to invite you, like Stevie said, and Dan, to become part of this. Because this is a small decision, but I can tell you it's huge. You just need to go and do your research. So with that, Dan and Steve, if you'd like to say the last few words, we will actually close the webinar.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, everybody, for jumping on the call. Hopefully, this has been a lot of great information for you and very informative today. And I hope you can get involved in some capacity, whether it's for your own health, the health of your loved ones, or even potentially to help us to help you to get this to the world and share this with as many people as possible.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I've said enough. I've said enough, but I'll just say thank you. And thank you. And thank you. And thanks for all the birthday wishes too.
Absolutely. Okay, people, see you next week. Same time, same channel. Have a good one. Bye-bye, guys.